have made it to Stu and the Nunn, an online radio show that looks to inform, educate, and hopefully make you laugh. Stu and the Nunn is a show focused on national security, policy, politics, and selfless service. We do this by not only interviewing guests, but also sharing our own perspectives and asking you, the listener, to interact with us on our show chat room, via our Facebook page, and on Twitter. Like to thank those who make this show possible and allow us to bring it to you. Our show sponsors are Commodity Outdoors, Veteran Outdoors, Enlisted 9 Fight Company, Warrior Media Solutions, and BooHammer.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stu and the Nunn. Let me turn down my audio. I think I'm blowing your ears out there. I'm looking at the meters. Anyways, welcome. Here we are in July. Toby, my brother from another motherland, up there on my left, your right. So up here, July 2nd, dude, we are clocked past the halfway point of this year. And man, I don't think we can get to it fast enough. I'm ready for us to hit the end of 2020. Just saying.
I'm not in that much of a hurry yet. You know, like... some good things are happening. July is a great month. Opens up the very first day, the birthday of a great country, Kanaka Bar. So Viva la Canada to all.
That's right. Happy Canadian Canada Day to you.
Like to all my Anglo-Saxons and Francophones out there. You know, like happy birthday. Today, right. You know, the 2nd of July. Just another day for some, but not for all. Shout out to Curtis Cutler for his birthday today. Keith Odom, my business partner, his birthday yesterday. But America's birthday is just moments away.
Yeah, it would be good if I transitioned. Sorry about the people who are watching the Please Stand By. Thank you, Rob, for pointing out that I had not transitioned us over to live video yet. So sorry about that, Toby.
Bush League.
I was so into my music and our audience. So
really need to talk to you about that, Paul.
Yeah, No, that's right. Yeah, July 4th coming up, the Independence Day. Talking to one of my guys I work with today who's in Canada. And I said, yeah, you know this? And he goes, oh, that's right. That's why everyone keeps telling me to have a nice weekend. He said, I was like, we still got another day. I'm like, no, dude, tomorrow, this is our weekend. Your day was yesterday. We said, see ya to the Queen. We dropped the mic and walked the F out. I'm like,
whoa. You actually said it to a king.
Whatever, King. Yeah, we're not still tight.
No, it's not semantics. There's technicalities to it. Like, you would be more polite if you said it to a lady. You know.
It's what's going on over there. It's
just saying. But anyway, hey, we got a great show.
Yeah. With kind of some pseudo Canadian connection, sort of. I mean, there's
definitely the Great White North connection is the trifecta of northernness is going on tonight, but I cannot fanboy our guest.
You're not going to?
No, I'm not going to, because there's principles involved.
There's no statute of limitations on that, is there?
There's no statute of limitations.
No.
I'm not bitter. I believe I was the victor, but
here you go. You're prepped. You ready?
It's all good.
All right.
We got guest. Bring him out. Bring Travis out. Travis
that's
out.
Right.
Let me tell everyone.
That's right. Let me welcome to the show, Mr. Travis Wilson. He may have been a native of Wichita Falls, Texas, but I think his roots go a little bit deeper and a little bit farther north than that. Travis, welcome to Stu and the Nunn Show.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. And yes, I am a native of Texas, the largest states. Texas and Alaska, two great states.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Alaska being really the largest state, Texas being the largest in the lower 48. The Texas being the largest in the lower 48.
It is.
And not just from Texas, but from Wichita Falls, which he's going to go in and talk about, like his lineage, in terms of his father and stuff like that. But like one of my favorite hunting spots in all of Texas, Squaw Mountain Ranch, just outside Wichita Falls, Tejas, and it's awesome. So Travis, how are you, bud?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm Yeah, I'm doing real well. Not really a productive day for me, but I've been good. I've been excited about coming on the show today.
Yeah. So it's not been a productive day?
Not today, no. I cleared the schedule just to prepare for this show.
So, did you have a cocktail?
You know what? I haven't drank since February 28th. I've been doing really good, and I haven't had a cocktail since then.
You know what he's drinking? He's drinking what's in those white tubs behind him on that counter. I'm sure we're going to talk about it.
No, we're going to hear all about it. But, man, the funny thing, I was just wrapping up a meeting, and I was like telling the guy, I'm like, hey, I got to get out of here. And, they were like, and my boy Aaron was like, oh, who's on the show tonight? And so I tell him, he's like, man, I just started following that guy on Instagram like 3 weeks ago. Like, man, it's like, do you follow me? Like, what's up? Follow me?
You must not be hot on the IG. You must not have some IG.
I'm not hot on the IG. Apparently, I went to the wrong high school. Like, I thought I went to the, I thought it was ranked like Service, Diamond, East, West.
All right, hold on. Let me just pause you right there. I'm going to give give our listeners a little bit of a background real quick, just so we can solve because people are going to, almost like the sexual tension in a room. People are going to detect the tension here.
The podcast tension.
So we are all so connected. So everyone knows. I actually was stationed in Alaska in '92 while these two young men were going to high school in Alaska during that time.
Young men.
So, which you guys were. So it wasn't my first duty station. Let's keep that in mind. It's like my third or fourth at that point.
I can tell by your beard hair.
Yeah, and so in 1993, these two. Did you graduate in '93 too, Toby?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. These two guys are both the class of '93. What was your motto in '93? It was class of '93.
No, it was Screw Crew '92, which I participated in, and then Let's Be Free '93.
Okay, there you go. Travis, what was yours?
Good Lord, I have no clue, buddy. I've had so many damn TBIs. I can't. I have no idea.
So there's like what 4 major high schools in Anchorage, right? 4: Chugiak, Diamond, East, West.
No, there's 5, right? Like
there's a 5th one.
Service, Diamond.
Oh,
East,
Service.
West,
Yeah, nobody counts.
Bartlett, which is really like the military school.
Yeah.
Because they got all the Elmendorf and most of the rich guys. And then Chugiak was kind of out in the valley that we
Chugiak was our high. That's where my kids went to school. So everyone knows.
There's like South. There's like South or something like that. There's a couple other high schools.
Was that Alyeska?
No, it's like South Anchorage, but it's.
I thought that was Diamond. I thought that was Diamond, but.
Whoa, watch your mouth.
I'm just saying. So, anyways, everyone knows. Travis graduated in '93 from East. And Toby graduated from Diamond. So for those like Doug and those that are in the chat room that know Anchorage and know those schools, that before the show, if you would call it that, we were talking right then. They were talking high school pranks and this and that, and someone dated someone else's girl. I don't know, all kind of crazy stuff. So I want to set
the same girl. I actually did go out with a girl from Diamond. I took her to a Sammy Kershaw concert. Her name was Portia or something like that. Portia.
Whoa! No, you didn't.
I swear, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
Was that her stage name or her real name?
No. Like, so we had 4 cars. We had 4 cars at our school.
You remember this, Toby?
No. Porsche was one. Mercedes was another. We had an Audi.
Not any.
But,
all right.
But the Audi drove a Saab, which, was a joke amongst itself.
Okay.
And no, we had two Mercedes. Sorry, we had 4 cars. We had the Audi, which everyone was like, that's the weirdest shit ever. Porsche, and then we had 2 Mercedes.
So you took Mercedes out, Travis, to Sammy Kershaw.
No, I took Porsche.
Or Porsche out.
Yeah, he was like, I'm sorry, like I go a little bit faster than that.
That's right, yeah.
Porsche.
AMG here.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Wow. See, we just never know, man. It's a small world. I
tried to hit up all the schools back in those days with the ladies.
So did I, but I looked 11, so it didn't help. I just got in from Canada, and that's how I was getting into the States, and I was in the counselor's office, and I was trying to go through the schedule and get it worked out, and the hockey coach came by, and he's like, hey, where's that kid from BC at? You know, and I was like, over here. And he's like, no, like the guy from BC. And I was like, oh, I'm right here. And he's like, no, like the guy that can play hockey from BC. And I was like, yeah, it's awkward. I'm right here. And, you know, like that's when I realized that it doesn't matter how fast you can skate. Like when you get smeared on the boards, it still hurts. And that was the big jump for me. Like that was the game changer in hockey, where I was like, oh, like I'm no longer faster than everybody, and this is getting, you know, like I went from like being in a small, very small bush pond to like, here you go. Like that was a pretty intense hockey scene. That was Ben Boki. That was the battleground.
Boki Ice Arena. Yeah.
Yep.
That was the battleground.
Right next door to where the Aces played.
Yeah. They don't even have the Aces there anymore.
No, probably not.
That's disrespectful.
ECHL's gone.
Yeah, is it really? Yeah, it's not surprising. Those were the best games ever. You had the wet side and the dry side. The wet side was where all the fun was at.
Yeah. That's right.
I saw some of the best fights in a hockey arena, not even on the ice, in that stadium on the wet side. To the point, I tell people this all the time, there was a game where the players stopped and watched the fight that was about 3 rows in front of me, and just to my left, about 10 o'clock, there was women coming 3 rows over. There were glasses flying. The game stopped. They all turned and watched, and I was like, "This is history making." When they stopped the ice and just like, we're gonna watch it. Those Yellow Jackets were getting thrown out too. They couldn't even get there. People were holding them off. It looked like they were in the chop zone before there was such a thing.
Another fun fact though about that joint, and right next door, so you had the Ben Boki, and then next door I believe was the Sullivan. Right?
That Sullivan's where the Aces play,
yeah. Right next door, that is where Metallica started all their official world tours. They always did a show in Alaska, and in '93, they did the Black Tour, and yes, I attended that concert.
So did I.
Still the best concert of my life.
Absolutely, if I could remember it.
Yeah.
You guys may have one of you may have passed something to the other one. You don't even know. You guys may have been in the pisser together.
Back in the day, that might have been true.
Actually, it was about 20 minutes in, and I was carried out of that arena for getting into a fight. I had some guy's girlfriend on my shoulders, and he was not happy, and he sucker punched me. And she just wanted to see the show, and I was tall. I'm 6 foot. I know I'm 6'3". She probably had on a mini skirt. I don't know.
You were doing it for the fans.
For humanity.
Yeah. So, but he wasn't happy, and I woke up. God, I had the biggest black eye in my life. It was amazing.
Oh, really? Like ocular damage?
No, but just massive swollen shut. Had to go to school after that, and that was like a Friday night. And
and that was spring. That was right near the end of the year. Yeah.
Let me give you another fun fact about that stadium. Took my son. We went and saw Aerosmith there. I think it was his first or second concert, when Steven Tyler fell and broke his leg and kept playing. So we were sitting just to the left of the stage, and he fell off a speaker. How old's that dude then? He was probably 60 then, I think, right? And he broke his leg. He brought out a stool and did the rest of the concert sitting down. He stood up some. He wasn't running around. I mean, Steven Tyler.
That was very Axl Rose of him.
It was. And sit there and did the rest of it. And we didn't know until the next day. Someone told me real loud, because my ears were still ringing, that he had broke his leg. It was in that, and they had canceled the rest of the tour. It was like 9 or 10 months. But anyways.
Let's talk about actually why Travis graduated high school from, a school of moderate reputation. Some great athletes, probably some of the greatest athletes to come out of Anchorage came out at his high school in that time frame. Trajan Langan, ACC, top scoring, best guard ever to play basketball, and as then hockey wise, Scotty Gomez. But you were there because your dad served. He served in the Air Force, and he was kind of a badass. Yeah, he was. To be honest with you, I was 5 years old when we were in Alaska when I started playing hockey there, and then kind of excelled at hockey and went on to other states. My dad retired after 23 years as a physician assistant, but before that he was a pararescue, PJ. And he helped start the Air 210th Rescue Squadron that's up there currently now.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a strong unit.
Yeah, and but we ended up coming back after spending a couple years in some other states, in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area, and Oregon, Portland area. Went back there to play hockey, and yeah. But you know what? It's funny that we went back, and I was going to play for the Alaska All-Star, and they had a new junior program that they were starting, and I just kind of fell out of love with hockey, and really kind of excelled at football, and played football for East, and was actually supposed to play at Bartlett, but the whole popular school thing was going on, and East was really, like you said, pumping out some really good athletes.
Yeah, no, it was.
So I went and played football at East, and actually went on to a military academy, junior military academy, because my grades weren't good enough to get into the big ones, and played football there. So Wentworth Military Academy in Missouri.
So where'd you go?
Wentworth Military Academy. It was between there or NIMI, New Mexico Military Institute in New Mexico. But my dad still kind of controlled the reins because I was a wild child, and he was pretty pissed that my grades weren't good enough to get into a service academy. So he said, "You're going to go to one of these, junior colleges, these private military schools." So I did for a year. Pissed him off when I quit. So.
No, like that was to get into academy then up there was hard. So you have a smaller population base, but you have the same amount of nominations that everyone else has.
Yeah. And
so it was extremely competitive. One of my best friends in high school, Jared Rick, shout out to my boy, went to the Air Force Academy, and his nomination was a big deal. Yeah. He was number 2 in our class, captain of 2 sport teams. Like kid was unbelievable. And, if it wasn't for, and his efforts definitely played a role, but his parents' effort also played a role. Like, I don't want to just discount his situation, but it's like, man, those nominations were tough, and that year was exceptionally hard to get. And I'm trying to think of Sam. I can't even remember this. He got a West Point nod, and it was the same thing. It's like these dudes were like, man, I was high all the time. Like I can't even I got good grades, but they went above and beyond. Like the competitiveness to get a nod back then to get an academy was ridiculous.
Yeah,
as it is now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We had Ross Ships. I don't know if that name rings a bell, but
yeah.
Ross Ships was a phenomenal athlete. Played football. He was a running back and was getting looked at by a bunch of schools for football.
Dude, he was a stud.
Yeah, and then I think he played 3 years of hockey. Started playing hockey as a sophomore.
Yeah.
But got recruited to go to West Point to play hockey. Yeah. After just 3 years, and that's how fast he picked up that game, and it spoke volumes about he was super smart to begin with, but very analytical and could pick up that game. And it was fascinating to see him pick up skates.
Man, I forgot all about him. I wonder what he did. When he was in, did he stay in? Or,
no,
he just won and done.
I won't talk bad about the brother, but he didn't last at West Point. They have a thing called the Big Three. But he did go on to LSU and become a lawyer. And
good for him.
Now, lives in Alaska now, and from what I understand, has his own practice up there. So we were actually stationed at Fort Hood together for just my very first duty assignment. I didn't last long there because they moved me to Alaska, but he was there after he dropped out of West Point.
Where were you at? Where were you at the Hood?
I went to the LURS unit there, but they deactivated as I showed up, and they were like, "You're going to Alaska," and so.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that LURS unit. I was supposed to go there when I got back from Korea. I was at Fort Hood once, and when I came back my second time, I was supposed to go there, and then
that was my dark period. Hood was my dark period.
Oh yeah, it was. I was there long enough to get smoked, and I'll never forget the guy's name. Is Staff Sergeant World. I was a medic, and I had just left Wilson. The biggest black man you've ever seen in your life, mean as shit. And I showed up, and the first thing he said to me was how many push-ups can you do? And I said, I don't know a lot. And he said, all right, get down, start pushing until I'm tired. And that was my introduction to a LURS unit as a medic. And then the next thing I was told was, oh, by the way, I don't know why they sent you to us because we're deactivating. You're going to sit around and wait for orders. So, but then I got Fort Rich, back to Alaska. So the two states that I'm from, Texas and Alaska. You know, you join the military. I dropped out of the academy.
You had a wish list. You had a
Hey,
wish list.
They could have sent you to Bragg. Obviously, once you get on status, they don't want to let you go off status, so they could have sent you back to Bragg or did.
Well, I ended up at Bragg, so
yeah.
But it was funny to get stationed back in Alaska, but it was cool too to go there as a young man, as an adult, and be able to experience it. It was pretty awesome. So kind of miss it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you end up in Bragg. You kind of change things up with your career.
Well, after Alaska, so I went to selection to become a Green Beret in 1999, and I had always wanted to become a Green Beret. My father, being an Air Force pararescue guy, loved jumping out of planes, and he used to sing stanzas, little bits of the Ballad of the Green Berets by Barry Sadler, and it was "Pin silver wings on my son's chest, make him one of America's best," and I always remembered that, and so it's one of the reasons why I didn't join the Air Force, is because I knew that I wanted to be a Green Beret. So went to selection in 1999 and got selected, and I have this. I haven't quit anything in a long time, but in '99 I did say, well, you know what? I think I'd rather go back to college and finish school. So I did that. I went to Boise State and ended up playing hockey at Boise State.
Do they have blue eyes?
No, no. That would be
asking
cool.
for a friend. Sorry.
Right. But I was just there for long enough to finish school and played one season there, and went right back in the military to the Q course and became a Green Beret, and obviously ended up at Bragg. Everybody loves Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Not this guy. Hell no.
Not the backside near the pines.
Song,
not the front side near the boulevard or the backside near the pines. It's I was born there, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vietnam. But so you went on and did that. So you were in for a little while. You did a little click and kind of in and out, right? It sounds like. And,
yeah.
And kind of define what you wanted to be when you grew up, I guess, right?
It took me a little while. I had no idea what I wanted to do, and but I knew that becoming a Green Beret was it. Once I finished school, I knew that I had already been selected. So my dad was pretty pissed off about that too, because I quit a military academy. Then I got out of the Army to go back to school, which he wasn't too upset about. But then once I finished school, and he wasn't happy that I didn't go on to be a Green Beret, but he was happy that I went and finished school, and then I went back in the military. So he passed away in '09, and he had always said that, you did the right thing. You did what you needed to do to find you, to figure out what you wanted to do. It took you a little bit longer than most. I won't lie. I had to mature. I matured slower than most. I'll say that. So I think I'm still maturing. I don't know.
I think we all are, right?
Yeah. Work in progress.
So then you went on. You were stationed 10th Group out in Fort Carson.
I was.
That's the closest SF unit to Alaska.
No, actually, no.
No, First Group.
First Group.
Yeah, First Group now.
Yeah, First Group.
That's,
so, big white guy. They gave me the Russian language. If you know, and you guys know that Special Forces guys were area of operation specific. So 10th Group's full of a bunch of big white guys.
So you're Drago.
Yeah, Drago. Я говорю по-русски немного.
I'd kill you.
Yes.
So you went and did some time out in Presidio? Went to language school out there?
No, actually, our language school's at Fort Bragg.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, it's part of the pipeline, towards the end of the pipeline.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you can go out to Monterey to DLI for advanced language courses. For about a year, you get stationed out there. But I
never
never
like
did
guys like you out there, though.
No, not really.
Not near that beach.
No.
Yeah.
There's too much trouble out there for guys like you.
So you had some time. You did some deployments, and then decided, okay, you hit your time to retire, and you decided it was time to change careers again.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to retire.
Okay.
I ended up doing a total of 21 years. That 1 year of National Guard time counted when I was in college. But I don't know how, and I didn't do any. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. They might take that year away from me, but I don't know how they do the math on that shit.
Yeah.
But,
Statute of limitations on talking shit about the Guard.
Right.
0 meters.
So, I had an accident. I had a near fatal parachute accident in Eloy, Arizona. We were gearing up to go on a deployment, and we're really thinking that we were going to get a free fall mission because there have been over 30 free fall missions in Iraq, or in Afghanistan mostly. Alpha Company, 3rd Battalion, 10th Special Forces Group had a free fall mission in Iraq towards the beginning. But anyway, I had a canopy collapse on me coming in on final, and that night, and kind of just dirt dove in. It was the worst landing I've ever had in my life. So spun around to the right a couple times, woke up with flashlights and a fentanyl lollipop in my mouth, which God bless that medic. He knew what he was doing. I used to be a medic, and I got to tell you too, fentanyl lollipops, you've never had one? Those are amazing.
You can't buy them.
Can't find the right candy man. You got to find the right candy man.
Yeah, if you find the right guy.
Yeah. My candy shop doesn't carry them, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah. But I had to heal up from that, and that happened in 2010. So I was dealing with, there was all kind of things going on in my life at that time. The death of my father, my hero, healing my body. I've had 13 surgeries. I've already got 2 knee replacements, 2 disc replacements in my back, ankle reconstruction, shoulders, elbow a couple times. So, and then I ended up getting divorced. And, you'd think that a guy wants to call it quits and the Army's going to say, hey, look, you're fucked up. Why don't you just get out on a medical? But
that sounds like go time to me.
Yeah. So, you know what? I stepped it up and I was like, hey, there's this new program. It's this handshake program with, a company out east, if you know what I'm talking about. So I decided that I wanted to kind of jump into the special operations intel world, and did that for a little bit, and had some fun with it, and went out to Lithuania, and all that crap was taken off with Russia and all that stuff. And
well, you had the right language skills. You were hot commodity.
Yeah. So, and I got to go to Lithuania single, which if you've never been to Lithuania, and there's a lot of
send it. Yeah.
Buddy, if there's some single guys listening right now, get your ass to Lithuania. It's like 4-to-1 girl to guy ratio. Women.
Isn't it Lithuania and Czech? In the Czech Republic, the other, I think that
Croatia.
Is it Croatia?
Jesus, yeah, Croatia too.
America.
America too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm celebrating freedom for you. I'm living vicariously through the single guys. But I would go to Lithuania, Estonia, Croatia.
But you're totally happy married man. Let no one think.
Yes. Come on.
Exactly.
Why you disrespect?
No, just to make sure there's I don't want any ladies start sending in fan mail. I want you're a happily married man.
Yeah, that's the biggest concern of this podcast is ladies sending in fan mail. So good career minus the year in the Guard, and we'll let you talk shit about it.
How about we say minus dirt diving, becoming a lawn dart?
Well,
that's probably
that kind of sucked too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. I mean, and all the deployments too. It all added up. I mean, the TBIs getting blown up. When I exited the military, when I retired, they X-ray your entire body, and he's like, "Oh, when did you get the shrapnel in your back?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. I don't remember." But showed me the X-ray, and there's a little, piece of shrapnel in there, and oh well. But thought it was a zit probably at some point on deployment. Just left it alone.
Hey, dude, squeeze this out of me. No way.
Whoa. That's like a real thing, bro. Yeah. All right. So great career, minus a couple of little hang-ups as, Debbie Downer Troy likes to bring up, because everyone wants to remind people about painful moments hitting the ground. But you got out, and you kind of got something going on right now, which is actually, why we wanted to talk to you. We're obviously we care about all the other stuff, but you got some really cool stuff going on. We can see some in the background. Let's dive into the effects of what happened to you and where it's taken you and how you're making not only yourself better, but everyone else around you.
Sure. And I want to digress just for 1 second. I mentioned that I already have two partial knee replacements, and there's a lot of jump masters in my career. One of them I'm probably talking to that threw me out of a plane a couple times up in Alaska. So these knees, probably have your name written on them.
I'm not sure.
Like
I like how that sounds,
lawsuit
but yeah.
Are a great song. Lawsuit are a great song.
Yeah, I know, right? I blame you. Yeah. You were probably that one jump master that kicked me in the ass when I wasn't hesitating.
Definitely
if I thought for a second you paused, I couldn't get that high-tech boot up there fast enough. Let me just say.
No pause out of this guy. I loved it all.
There we go.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I own Alpha Elite Performance, which is a supplement nutrition company, which I enjoyed doing it and coming up with some amazing products, safe, clean products for everybody to use. I actually started with a company called Caliber Nutrition while I was active duty. With all that shit that was going on in my life, I decided to start a company called Caliber Nutrition, a supplement store, and a personal training studio in Colorado Springs. I had a great team, a great support group that I could count on when I was deployed and while I was away. So it worked out.
Because you weren't busy enough in your life, so you needed to start a company. Yeah.
And I had to add some more to it. And, like when I said today, like it's been unproductive, I've been doing stuff, but nothing that stressed me out or made me mad. So, but yeah, Alpha Elite Performance is my company.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So, because like I'm an entrepreneur. Troy, he's not. He's all about like big, corporate world paying, his 401k, and I'm all about like sucking it up and like figuring out that I had to let employees know that they have a day off this week, because I was like, what do you mean you're not working on the no. I love it. I love anyone that like is inspired by something, that is impassioned by something and goes after it. The supplement world is an interesting one, because anyone that's concerned about performance in any capacity kind of goes after it, right? I was a little dude. When I joined the Army, I was 127 pounds. While you're 6'3", I'm a solid 9 inches shorter than you. As an infantry guy, like body mass to like weight carried ratio, much different. Gait of step, on road marches, much different. And so like
you were running on every road march, huh, Toby?
Dude, it was like.
And they probably gave you the pig too. Oh, here, Nunn.
Yeah.
Carry the 60.
When I was at Benning, I'll never forget, so I got caught. I was probably like week 1 or week 2 where I started dipping into my toothpaste, because I was just like trying to find anything to give me like a little extra calorie or something like that. And my drill sergeant, great SF guy, Sergeant First Class Cheney, I'll never forget him. He like took mercy on me.
Matt Cheney?
And,
anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was. So I went through in. Oh, I can't remember now. But the big black dude, pretty yoked up. But he took pity on me, and he started like feeding me like double rations. So he would like yell at me in the bay, and he'd be like, "Hey, roster number 232, get your shit!" And everyone's like, "Oh, there goes that little dude to get his shit smoked." And then I'd go in that one room, and he'd like, "You got 30 seconds to eat this shit. Go, because you're gonna die if you don't." And I was like, ah! And then I'd like low crawl out of there like I'd been punished, and try not to puke because, but I did everything in my power to like gain weight, to to gain an advantage, to recover faster. I call like Hood my dark time, but like Korea, I really got after it. I really started paying attention to nutrition, putting more, into it. Mainly, I think because there was less options. Like in America, there's so many options outside post. There's so many options outside the DFAC. So you just don't pay attention. You kind of do what you want. I would eat as much as I possibly could, but then in Korea, I really started getting like focused on what's better for me, what's going to give me optimum performance, what's going to help me in the morning. What's not going to do this? What's not going to do that? What's going to give me this? And then carrying that into deployments, especially Iraq, the deployments there really kind of got in to that. But it's such a weird, like back then, again, I'm like at that point in time, I was in like the 155, 160 range. So like I'd really bulked up, I walked around, spoke with an Austrian accent, had like, fake, was it like imitation ILS, like,
Oh yeah.
lat syndrome or whatever.
Right.
And, everybody look at me. And, but, back then, people, it was, I'm trying to think of the guy that, Olympia dude, that all the supplements were for big bodybuilders. They weren't for athletes. And I was like, in my mind, and, I was trying to be the best athlete that I could be on the battlefield, the most sustainable athlete that I could be on the battlefield. But all the supplements back then, like the proteins and stuff like that, they were designed for guys that were just trying to like look good, with fake tans, really bad banana hammock on some stage somewhere. They were not designed for athletes. They were not for performance. They were for performing a couple of like,
Right. Yeah.
it was not for actual performance. And so like one of the things that's really excited me is guys like you have come out with these products, because it's really about sustainable nutrition. It's really about, engineering what you're putting into your body so that you get maximum performance out of it. So like, I really, if you got a few moments, if you could kind of like walk us through like how you like, because I love this stuff. I'm an entrepreneur, so I love the process, the stream of consciousness that you went through to like kind of get where you're at right now and how you're developing those cool bottles to the back of you.
Sure. Yeah. So, I'll start with when I started Caliber Nutrition and Fitness in Colorado Springs, it was to bring good quality products. I'm going to give First Form a plug because I really like Sal Frisella, Andy Frisella, and the First Form products. Mm-hmm. I started to sell those in Colorado Springs at our store. And we were the first ones to sell it. I wanted guys on the ODAs to stop making bathtub steroids, to stop taking that shit that was going to destroy their livers and kidneys, and just kind of just take them. They weren't going to be of added value to the teams. They weren't going to be that force multiplier because they'd be slow. We have an andro product, but it's not really an andro product like the ones from the days of old, where it would slow you down, tighten your muscles. You couldn't run, but you could do 1,000 push-ups in a minute, So
I might have purchased that product.
Yeah, I mean, there was a place at Fort Bragg. Everybody purchased that stuff. But so I liked our products that we sold at Caliber Nutrition, but then I was like, well, I got to come up with my own, because I really want a nice, good pre-workout that worked with stamina and endurance and recovery. And we came out with our first product called just Alpha Elite was the name of the pre-workout. And that's how Alpha Elite Performance, became to what it is, now. The very next product after that was MPERC. And this is one that I'm kind of proud of: Muscle Performance Endurance Recovery Complex. It is 3 ingredients: Daily deer antler out of South America, a little bit of green tea, and some creatine to help hydrate the muscles. That's all that goes into these capsules. It's about 650 milligrams in a day, 3 capsules a day for a guy, 2 for a woman. And that really helps with, you're not going to get yoked off of it, but it'll help with some strength. Obviously, you have to work out with it. I mean, even if you're using steroids, you have to work out. Those bodybuilders, they work their asses off. But this one helps with endurance and recovery and stamina and some strength. And really liked that product. I gave it to my guys on the ODA, and they're like, what the hell are you giving us? And I was like, look, just try it out, But,
you gave them free swag. Nice.
Yeah, right. So the Emperor took off. I worked with that one on a Marine Recon guy who still lives in Colorado Springs. But, I own it now and sell it. But so we want Alpha Elite Performance to be about performance and endurance, and we want the products to be safe and legal for everybody to use. There's a lot of products out there that, soldiers shouldn't be taking. They do. They don't get tested for it. There's a laundry list of things that the military says they can test for that they don't. So these guys use all these products.
Yeah, they really don't test for that.
Oh no, there's like 4 things they test for, and we know what those 4 things are.
Yeah.
You snort it, smoke it, whatever. But we've started to, like we just came out with a new testosterone product. We have one called Alpha Test that, we stack with the M-Perk, and those two do really well to help increase your testosterone naturally. We're not putting testosterone in your body. That would be illegal. So these products help, your testosterone naturally, increase naturally. And we've just recently launched Alpha Test X2, which is a more potent version of the original Alpha Test. And women, if you're listening, women can take testosterone products. Women do have a reduction in testosterone. They need the testosterone just like we do, just not as much. So Alpha Test, our original blend, is perfect for women who want to help increase their testosterone naturally. Of course, talk to your doctor about it first. Let him read, the ingredients, and he'll tell you, hey, you can use it. But we've also gotten into the wellness line with a sleep aid, and it is called GBNT Sleep, Green Beret Nap Time. Middle of the day,
That's awesome.
We have our siesta. Green Berets are we're always about hands
like black belt time.
Yeah, sure. But we're all about hands in the pockets and taking naps in the afternoon.
Yeah. Hey, the A&A, the Afghans just call it prayer time. Prayer time.
Prayer time. Yeah, I know. So, but it is a nice sedative. It's a sleep aid that there's nothing in it that's going to harm you. And I'm telling you, it has not had one bad review. Other than one girl did say she had some wicked dreams on it. Everybody else says, I think she's just got issues. If she's
either that or a little hydroxychloroquine there slipped its way into it maybe somehow.
Whoa. That's like,
no.
That's just my jam.
Yeah.
But it is an amazing product. I use it every night. Last night I forgot to take it, and my wife was like, hey, are you going to, because it was like 12:30 and I was doing some work or something. She's like, are you going to take the sleep aid? And I was like, oh yeah. 30 minutes you're out, and you sleep all night long and have some amazing dreams. Some of those dreams you don't ever want to wake up from.
Man, you got quite a list of things you got. And not only products like that, you have a little bit of swag up there. You also have some coaching plans, videos. Are those by you or other people on giving? People are looking for, how do I start this? How do I get myself through a program?
Yeah. So the weight loss plan, meal plan is something we came up with. Actually, and I'm going to plug her, Misty. She wrote that for me. She is a veteran herself. The strength plan is by another Green Beret who is a strength and conditioning coach for Troy University football program. His name is Rusty Witt. Great strength and conditioning. He was the strength and conditioning coach at Texas Tech and West Point, but now is the head guy at Troy University. So, and then we have our bodybuilding guy, King Arthur's Instagram, and his real name is Jonathan. But he is a...
Dude, are you serious? He's on your thing?
You got to look at his ambassador page. He's got a lot of familiar names.
Wait, hold on. Let me pull that, because if it's
he's got JP Cervantes, he's got Vargas, he's got
if it's who I think it is, I work out with this cat like 2 times, 3 times. Well, when I say work out, I'm in the gym at the same time as this cat.
In Texas, in Georgetown?
No shit, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the House of Gains, bro. That's my membership.
Yeah. So he's great. He's done wonderful things for myself and a bunch of other people that
there it is, the House of Gains.
House of Gains, started by a former Fort Hood soldier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
shit.
Yeah, great gym. But yeah, John is great, and he's helped out some friends of mine. And so we actually have a thing right now. If you go onto Instagram, find the image with him on it. It's a giveaway that we're doing. It's a month long meal plan, workout plan by him that he makes specifically for you, and you follow it. And I guarantee you, if you follow his meal plan, you will lose weight. He's wonderful. He's changed things for me. Your body changes, as you get older. We know this. We're not going to lose weight like we used to. We're not going to gain the muscle like we used to. A lot of those guys out there can't even get it up, but it's because of testosterone and things like that, and what you're eating and what you're putting into your body. So we combine all that with King Arthur or John and supplements, and we get that rocking and rolling. So,
man, that like I didn't even look. Now I feel like an asshole because I didn't even look at the ambassador page. You got Vinny on there. You got a couple of our boys on there.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, man. Like, I got all hung up. I got all hung up on some other stuff. That is awesome. Mike's on there, dude. I love it. Glover, man.
Yeah, Glover. Yeah, I saw Glover.
Yeah, dude. Glover's on there.
And everybody should follow those guys as well.
Oh, they're great dudes, man. They're the best.
And they've got some of the biggest discount codes. So if you were looking to save 15 and 20%, use their codes. Like Fieldcraft 15 or Rocco 15, if you like, Vincent Vargas.
Yeah.
We end up paying these guys back. We're not trying to make a network marketing thing, but these guys are helping us out, so we want to help them out. So at the end of every quarter, once their code's been used a certain amount of time, we pay them back 10% on total revenue, total sales from their codes being used.
Dude, there's like 6 guys on here that have been on the show.
Yeah,
nice.
I know. I looked through it. I
didn't even look at this.
I texted Toby on the side. I'm like, you need to look at the ambassador
my DMs
page.
are about to blow up. They're like, man, you're kind of a dick, Toby. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun to work with these guys. They're busy, and we don't expect them to make a lot of posts or to promote us like they do. But it's great that they do. I didn't ask them. A lot of those guys are like, hey, what can I do to help you? And it pretty much seems to be what the Betterment community is about, and
that's the best, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of feel like the same way with you guys. You reached out to me, and I'm able to help you guys with a show, and you guys are able to help me out by, broadcasting this. And I think it's great. The veteran community is amazing.
Yeah, we like to spread this.
Crap about your high school.
Yeah,
awesome.
I just talk crap about you both being in high school at the time, but that's a whole other thing.
Nice beard hairs.
Yeah, well, you used to have one until you decided to grow your 12-year-old hair back out.
No, I'm trying to get back to where I was at in Anchorage. I'm like, how do I bring the babyface killer back?
Yeah.
I shaved my beard, and everyone's like, are you Toby's little brother? Like, that's right. Right.
Hey, so let me ask you, Travis, how did you? I mean, obviously, looking at your career, what we've talked about, and everything. At what point did you start really digging in, doing the research, and understanding how this stuff comes together? And where? I mean, did you team up with someone? They kind of, or did you just learn it yourself on what the right mixtures are and what the right things are? Because obviously, there's a ton of stuff out there. Not all of it's best for the body. Some of it gives good effects, but it doesn't have a good long-term effect, right? Things like that.
Sure. And I'll be honest, we have a weight loss aid called Alpha Fen. It doesn't have fen in it, but it is a fat burner. There absolutely is no such thing as a fat burner. Everybody knows that. It's all about caloric deficiency and things like that, and burning the calories and what you put into your body. But what does this fat burner do? It does help increase the metabolism, and it heats you up. It's a thermogenic, so that helps. But really what it does is get you off your ass to do something. So when people take these pre-workouts and these fat burners and things like that, there is an increase in metabolism, but it's that workout that person's doing that is going to, help them with the weight loss and the fat burning and stuff like that. It speeds it up a little bit.
Right.
And to do it correctly, though, you can do 2 pounds a week. A fat burner will help maybe, 3.5, 4 pounds a week.
Right. Right. And does it affect you like a pre-workout does? The pre-workout, you get the old tingly face and you get all that kind of, because you get the rush of.
You don't get that with our pre-workout. That's beta-alanine that does that, and I always call that a false positive. It's an amino acid, but when you pack a pre-workout with that crap, it's not doing anything but making your face feel like it's going to melt off, and you're hearing colors and shit like that. You're not going to get that with our pre-workout or our Alpha Fen. You're going to get some solid energy and some endurance. There's some electrolytes in there that help with, keeping you hydrated as well. But to answer your question, how did I went to school for exercise science, have always been interested in working out and supplementation. And you just start learning about, these ingredients and what works and what doesn't. And, I started off with a lot of the stuff that at the time I thought was cool and was going to make me big and strong like a bodybuilder. Come to find out it was really bad for my body. Injecting testosterone in your body is far better than some of the shit that's out there.
Right,
a lot of
right.
us are low testosterone, low T's. So a lot of people are doing testosterone therapy,
Yeah.
and regulated by doctors and things like that. It's much safer than some of the shit that these people are buying. So,
Well, let me ask you this real quick. I mean, I'm in the social state of New York, sadly, and we're still. I've been without I was in the gym the last day before they locked him down. In fact, my gym told me, said, we don't know if we're going to make it through this week, and so I think I stayed a little while longer. And that afternoon, it was done. And we were supposed to be open back up as of yesterday, and the Adolph Como said everything can open up except gyms and malls, and no one knows when they're going to open up. But a lot of folks are facing this. Now we're seeing spikes in COVID and all in the South, and especially in Austin. I think Austin has now become one of the hottest cities. I'm just saying, maybe not Georgetown, but Austin.
I live in Georgetown.
I know.
I was just in Georgetown looking to move there.
Yeah,
dude, come on.
Anyway,
Are you serious?
Anyways, we'll get to that in a second. Then you guys can have a meet up and East versus
dude,
Diamond.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Come on, come into this town.
For people that are locked down, what do you? I mean, I've got some stuff I've been working at home. It isn't the same. If I miss anything in the last 3 or 4 months, it's not being at the gym every single morning.
Yeah.
What is your advice to folks that may be listening or watching on what they could do to try if they don't have any work stuff at home? If they were purely a gym person like I was, or with minimal stuff at home, what is the things they could do to try to maintain some level of activity until they can get back in there? Because you can't even buy freaking dumbbells online. That shit went $1,000 for a set of dumbbells a week after this country locked down.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I live in Southern California right now, so I understand.
Leave. Come here immediately.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I understand, what you got going on in New York, and what they're kind of feeling in Texas now as well with the second, increase in COVID cases. But I have lost 18 pounds since COVID started because of diet and mild exercise. I haven't done anything crazy other than I walk 40 minutes at a minimum, 40 minutes every day, 6 times a week. And then I do some push-ups and sit-ups and I have some bands. But
that's what I've been doing, bands, a lot of bands and some dumbbells and then bike riding and elliptical. And that's just been nonstop.
So I always wanted to have that bodybuilder physique and things like that, but I'm over that because my body is broken and I needed to lose some of that weight. So I'm getting rid of the muscle and the fat. And so diet and exercise, I eat 6 meals a day, and they're small meals. And they're made up by John King Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
And he charges only $100 a month. You cannot beat that. I assure you, what he does scientifically with food in your body is absolutely amazing. And if you follow it and just do the bare minimum working out, it's going to work for you. That's what I did at the beginning. I was just walking 40 minutes, 6 times a week, push-ups, sit-ups, just getting a good sweat on. Get out in your grass or in your yard or in your house and just do some sit-ups. Give yourself a goal of, or do 52 card pickup. Remember that, where you take and throw those cards down and pick up a card and you do push-ups or sit-ups, whatever. Just do something.
Right.
At a minimum, 40 to 45 minutes a day of some sort of exercise. It gets circulation going. It helps your head. It increases endorphins. It's been scientifically proven that working out helps those who are depressed, who have TBIs, things like that. It really changes you, and it increases your energy after 2 weeks. That's the first 2 weeks is kind of like the breakdown period. Remember basic training, 2 weeks, you think you're in shape, but you're just sore for 2 weeks, breaking that body down. And then the next 2 weeks, you're starting to build it back up. And then after that, the next 2 weeks is sustainment or building. It's the same thing. First 2 weeks of any workout sucks.
Right. That's where most people quit, right? That's where most people quit. That's why by the 15th of January, they're done with that resolution.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. But after that first 2 weeks, then it just becomes a habit and people get addicted to it,
I'm going to definitely check out your products. I haven't used a lot during this time because I didn't even want to use any of my proteins or anything. I don't feel like I'm working out enough, even my pre-workouts. And so
even if you don't work out, you want to use that protein because we don't get enough protein in our bodies as it is. You should, just to maintain weight or muscle mass, have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight a day.
No, it's
It
good
gets
to know.
expensive.
Yeah,
But,
that is.
you
But
know.
I'm going to definitely check out some of your stuff. I mean, I was looking at it and don't want to. And one, veteran-owned, American-made. I know you're only putting quality stuff in there, like you talked about, and so I'm excited. I'm glad that we were able to get you on for sure.
Yeah. So while you guys were chin wagging, I just bought some.
Oh,
So you
nice.
just So enjoy
Did you
that
use
order.
Did you use the Vargas 15 code?
No, I used Glover 10. I hope it was 10. Damn it. Should I just put 15?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Well, I don't care. Whatever.
We have we also, if people don't have somebody that they can use, we do have a discount. If you look on there, it'll say discounts or coupons, and you'll see
it was the
military 10 or whatever.
Oh, I just put in like Glover.
Yeah, he's got one
thought
for the
you said
guard
10.
even. He's got one for the guard. He's got one for fire
It's
department.
like, guard, give me back my year. Is that like the code?
10.
Yeah, right.
10.
Yeah, that's it.
No, like that's awesome. Like what a small world. Like today's like this show has been like a ton of small world stuff. That's awesome.
I got to say too, he's got some great names. You know, we just had the guy on from Grill Your Ass Off, right? That had the great names of all the barbecue stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's got Pipe Hitter Sugar Skull. I mean, it's just
America.
Best flavored
America.
pre-workout in the world. I swear to God. If you don't, and we don't really take back powders. We're just like, hey, we'll give you your money back. You keep whatever. But I'll take that stuff back and I'll use it. It's the best pre-workout you've ever tried and tastes amazing. It's Sugar Skull. Tastes like cotton candy, cherry. It's amazing. Mix is great. Yeah, it tastes like America.
Tastes like America.
Yeah, like what more American than cotton candy and cherry and something else in there? No, like nothing says 4th of July more than like, well, you know, it's summertime, right? Like when you go out and you party, Canada Day, you know, like Independence Day, you are like, we were eating cherries, you're hitting that cotton candy. You know, like I came from a tiny little bush community, so that cotton candy machine only made its way up to our little nape of the way, you know, once in a while. So like the Bing cherries, though, we get after that. No, like this is awesome stuff, man. I appreciate, and Troy does too, like anyone that puts in the reps, right? So this isn't just about, it's a reflection of what you do in the gym. It's a reflection of what you do in life and work. But when you put in the reps, you know, like there are guys right now out there and they're marketing the shit out of this, you know, like Jocko's my favorite, you know, in terms of marketing it, you know, discipline equals freedom. Like that's just putting in the reps. All that is like telling people, hey, if you want something, you know, you got to work for it. You know, Tim Kennedy's a friend of the show, friend of us. And, you know, one of the things that like I always say to my kids every time they want to whine about something is like, yeah, Uncle Tim will tell you, like, there's a lot of freedom on the other side of hard work. And like there's nothing that you can do. There's no magic pill that you can take. There's no supplement that you can mix in that's, you know, going to do anything unless you're willing to put in the reps, if you're willing to put in the work. But as an entrepreneur, if you want to be successful, you got to put in the reps. Like we were talking about Grill Your Ass Off. You know, we had him on a couple weeks ago. And, you know, it's the same thing. Like the dude was passionate about flavoring meat.
Yeah.
And now that dude's killing it because he put in the reps.
Right.
And, you know, like same with you. Here you are, you know, like you were passionate about the nutrition. You're passionate about the performance aspect of it and what it could do for you. You put in the reps. And now that I'm like looking at, you know, like despite what everyone's always told me, like it's the passion behind it. It's the science, but it's the willingness to work. And this stuff's awesome. I literally just put it in order. Now I got to go back because you talked me into that sugar candy kill skull.
Sugar skull, pipe hitter.
So I gotta go. Like I gotta start open a new cart and do it. You know, which is gonna throw your numbers off. You know, because you're like average cart size. You're gonna have like I'm lowering your cart size average because like I'm, you know, multiple carts. But no, I love it, man. What is next on the agenda for you? Like, what is the next problem? What is the next thing that you are trying to better the community with?
Well, I am the lead ambassador for the Green Beret Foundation. And so I do a lot with them with owning my own business, but also doing things for the Green Beret Foundation and taking care of our boys and the girls. You're going to see a female graduating the Q course here in the next few days.
Rumor has it.
It's a true rumor, and she brought her A game.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I won't digress other than that. But I love veterans, and if there's anything that I can do for veterans, I love to do. I travel around, I do speaking engagements, I tell my story. There's more to it than what we got into within this hour. So really, the next thing on the list for me is just to continue taking care of veterans. It doesn't matter who. Right now, it's mostly the Green Beret Foundation that I'm working with, and growing my business. And then, like I mentioned to you, we're looking to move to Texas here pretty soon.
Come on, come to Georgetown.
Yeah.
Well, we were just in Georgetown, checked it out. Austin doesn't have a warm and fuzzy in my gut anymore.
No.
Just say no. Say no. It was worse than San Francisco. It was horrible.
It is. It's little San Francisco. They've turned it into that.
It's San Francisco light.
No, but here's what I'll tell you is, because I've lived, I came back here, to this region specifically. I'm talking to you right now from the Georgetown Square. My office is on the square. My other business is on the square. You're among friends. This is a patriotic town.
Oh yeah.
This is a charismatic town because it cares about its people and it's trying to do right in all things. I won't say that to a lot of people, especially, where you're currently at in California. I'd be like, this is probably not the place for you, but this is the place for you. Yeah. And the reason for that is, the community here is so supportive. My boys and I, we got this awesome charity, Veteran Outdoors, and the community couldn't be more behind us. Not 320 meters from where I'm currently sitting is one of the best statues honoring a Green Beret that I've ever seen in my life. And I walk by that thing every day just so I can go see it. This is the right town for you. Forget about the gyms and stuff like that. A gym is a gym, to be honest with you, but it's the community behind it. You really should take a serious look. I should probably get, some kind of commission from the city for bringing you here. Usually it's Chet, the day tripper that's bringing people here. But some of the things I want to touch on, briefly and quickly, because I know we're running out of time. Your work with the Green Beret Foundation is awesome. And this is what is unique about the veteran community is we see I call them vetrepreneurs. I know it's not my term, but I love using that term because this is the difference between a vet that becomes an entrepreneur and just anybody else that's out there. Is the vetrepreneur is always trying to find a way to bring up those that were with him or her and to elevate them in a better way. And that is that's what makes our community better. Where, you can look at some of the guys that have been on Shark Tank and stuff like that, combat flip-flops and, that great stuff, doing awesome stuff globally, be a better human, love all that stuff. But what really makes them special and what makes guys like you special, guys like Glover, guys like Vinny, when I go, if all those guys and gals that are in your ambassadors page are trying to make the people around them better. It's not just about the best beard oil, it's not, it's about making a good product. And then how do we leverage the success of this product to enrich our community? If you want to look at it from t-shirt companies all the way to supplements, and when you look at the leading companies in any chosen field, you'll see that the guys that are putting in the reps are trying to put in the reps to help people as well at the same time and leverage it. Nick Bear, guys are trying to make their place, their community better as a result of their efforts. And everyone else is just trying to cash a check. And
Sure.
like, that's the difference between a entrepreneur and, like, love to see, like, especially the community that's most passionate to you, the Green Beret Foundation. Love it, man. Love seeing that on your website as well. Love seeing the veteran stuff. Everyone like thinks that stuff's cheesy because we're such a small population. But man, the weight that it carries, and with your supplements, it's easier to carry because you're stronger. Just saying.
Yeah, that's true. And we give back to the Green Beret Foundation as well, 10%, from the total amount sold, as well, like I said, that we do to our ambassadors. A majority of them are veterans. And, it's my continued service. I didn't want to retire, but my body told me I needed to. And so here I am. I decided to work for myself, start a business that helps people maintain, a healthy lifestyle through supplementation and other things. And then we give back to veteran community organizations, and we have fun doing it. So it's my continued service, and I'm going to do it until I die.
It's all about being passionate, right? About what you want to do, and you, as you said at the start of this, right? You felt, as you joked about yourself, it took a while to grow up, but you stuck your toe in a couple different areas and figured out what you like to do, and you excelled in different things that you did. A lot of your accomplishments, whether it's going to school, getting a degree, or going to the Q course or whatever, are all, being an Army medic, right? No matter what it is, are all admirable things, and going on what you did after the service before you got into this. So, I think it's a great testament. Your story should be an inspiration a lot. One thing we've talked about on the show is, when I got out of active, at 10 years, and everyone just thought, oh, you got to go be a cop, right? And I got into IT and computers, and people were like, how did you go from jumping out of planes and running around on the ground to doing this? I want to break that. I like to break that stereotype, and I love whether it's people are coming up with their own barbecue marinades and seasonings, or they're doing things what you're doing at Alpha Elite. It's taking all those other skills, sometimes the secondary or tertiary skills you learn in the military, conflict resolution, working with people, negotiation, and using that to something, and not falling into, oh, I can only be a cop, I can only be a contractor in Iraq, I can only do this, I have no other. It serves as an inspiration, whether you mean it or not, for others to go, shit, that guy can do it. I've always been interested in doing this, or, I'm going to take all these things I've learned and apply it to it. I hope that when you talk at the foundation, when you do things, that you're highlighting on some of that stuff that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And something else I love doing as well for some of these veterans is, well, they reach out to me like, Travis, how did you get started? What did you do? I had somebody that you'd think who was an officer in Special Forces reach out to me and say, what did you do to prepare for what you're doing now? And I tell them, it's about that transition. I started a year out of retirement. I made a plan that I knew that I was going to stick to. And I did just that. And that's where I start with the transition with these guys, helped him out and explain what I did to be successful, and will continue to help these people start their businesses. I love helping people start their businesses, or at least giving them some ideas on how to make it work. Even if it's another supplement company, I don't care. If they end up putting me out of business, I'll be pissed. But at least I knew that I did a good thing, helping them start a business. So this community is amazing. You guys are amazing.
No, man, it's look, this was great. This is what we do in the show. We've been doing this for, I think I was telling somebody the other day, almost 10 years or something. But we have these. It's folks like yourself, right? We like to get this story out there and let people know of these, whether it's businesses or people that are just doing things out of the goodness of their heart or whatever it is. That's why we do this, and we just like running in these circles. I mean, Toby said a number of folks on your ambassador page we've had on the show, we're good friends with. Those are the circles we like to run in. So we've kept you on for a while. There are other things I want to get into. I definitely want to talk about this Duckworth thing, but I don't think we're going to get to that tonight. But I want to, if you can stay on, Travis, I would like us to chat for a few minutes after, if you could, rather than drop, if it's possible. All right, go ahead, Toby.
So before we get off the air, because a couple things need to get cleared up. Best goaltender in NHL history.
Hasek.
Watch your mouth.
Grant Fuhr?
The Dominator.
Yes. Oh, my cocaine buddy. There it is. Grant Fuhr. There's no great. Stony Plain, Alberta. Adopted. Came strong with it. His parents owned the grain silos, and he made good. Not to mention, he played for his hometown team for the majority of his career.
Yeah.
Started out, no big deal. Played with guys Tikkanen, Buka Boom. I'm not even getting it. Like, I'm just talking back end here. I'm talking Coffey, Hunter, Anderson.
Did we just become
get into
best
the
friends?
Gretzkys and Messiers if you want to, but Grant Fuhr. That's move to Georgetown immediately.
All right, we'll lace up. We'll go fisticuffs. Just have fun.
Hey, well, understand.
Toby
that
does
I'm going
play.
for a low shot because I'm shorter than you.
All right, all right.
He goes nothing but 5-hole. But
Right on.
Know that.
yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, man. And I love it. We could have a whole hour on hockey talk, man. I'm a month out from going back into coaching.
Come back, Travis. You got to come back.
Yeah, we got to.
I will anytime. I have paperwork. I had notes and stuff. So, I thought we were going to get into politics
you down,
and all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
No,
we
you
could talk politics. There's no shortage of that.
Hey, let's go another 15. Come on, let's go.
Okay. You want to? Can you do another 15?
Yeah, come
All
on.
right.
Let's
Yeah,
do
I
another
can
Okay,
15.
so
He made notes. Come on, we got to keep going.
Okay, so I want to ask you about the Chow Thief and Duckworth. So, are you familiar with what Tammy Duckworth is doing?
No, fill me in.
Okay, so are you familiar with who the Chow Thief is?
Everybody knows that.
Vindman, yeah. So our good buddy Dave Bellavia, who was watching earlier.
They're wanting to promote him, but they're going to hold the promotions of all of the officers that are waiting for promotion.
So
now.
Tammy Duckworth, she was a helicopter pilot. She lost both her legs. She's been a darling to the left, and she is now threatening to hold up not only promotions, travel vouchers, all kinds of military spending, all kind of stuff that Congress has to approve. But every promotion, unless SecDef Esper promises her that they're going to promote him like he should be promoted. And she, in her comment, she says she is, so mad at the president that he's politicizing the military. And I read that and I had to pause and think, but isn't that what you're doing right here? Are you not politicizing the military by taking a responsibility of Congress and not exercising it in order to make sure somebody gets promoted? There is not a better example of politicizing the military than just that. I'd like to get your opinion on that, Travis.
I don't think that the president signs his OER, does he? No, he's got a senior rater, and depending on what that OER says. Like if there's an NCOER, it says promote with peers or promote ahead of peer or whatever.
OER is a 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, right? It's
right.
I got the ahead of peers.
Oh, nice.
No, I didn't.
But I don't know what to think anymore about all of this, other than it infuriates me. It's all very political. I was just having a conversation today about the academies and how political they're becoming, even within the sports side of the academies. People are afraid to coach at some of these. But as far as Miniman's concerned, he's a weasel. He is nobody that I think deserves to be any more than what he is right now. And that is a weasel and not very popular.
I mean, he doesn't look like he could pass a 600-9. I'm not sure he can pass a PT.
He's a 600-9 violator for sure.
Yeah.
No. So everyone forgets that 600-9 doesn't. So you can actually pass height, weight, and tape, right?
Right.
But it's actually the commander's opinion to violate you.
True.
And that's how you look in uniform. And he did not look like he could meet 600-9 in uniform during his things. But I think you're absolutely right. This is a political thing. But I'm going to take it one step further, and I'm going to say this is not about him, and it's not about his performance. It's about her, Troy. And the reason I'm saying it's about her is she's on the list of 10.
She's on the list.
Vice presidential candidates because she's a woman of color, and she checks a lot of blocks.
But so did Gabby.
So
did Gabby.
Yeah,
but they turned her off.
Gabby, no one likes Gabby. I mean, I like Gabby, but
the left don't like Gabby.
The left don't like Gabby because she's actually she keeps it real. But Duckworth is in the running to be. She's under consideration. They're vetting her as a vice presidential candidate. This is to keep her relevant in the news with the American people, so that if she, is the one that gets the nod, because too many other Gabby's been burned. When you look at all the women that have been burned, like politically, she's kind of one of the unburned people. And, being that she's been an undersecretary, she's got kind of the chops. She's been in the House, she's kind of got the chops. This is more about her, getting herself out there so that if she's a selection for vice president, that's what it is. I hope she's not a selection. Because
so it's self-serving, not only politicizing, but it's self-serving.
Yeah,
this has less to do with Vindman, because everyone sees through Vindman.
Yeah.
Like Travis just said, the president's not the raider. This dude's been raided. He's been measured, and he's been left looking wanting. He is not what's in keeping with the policies, the procedures, and the values of the United States Army. He violated the greatest and most sacred trust that you have as a member of the United States Armed Services, and that's the violation of chain of command. No matter what happens, he is burned that way.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. Everyone knows, once you you attempt to burn the chain of command for a self-serving purpose, and then you stand in front of Congress, forget about it.
What's he going to command?
This is more about her.
I mean, I don't know who's going to follow his lead. He's not a leader.
No.
And, he's going to be, if he's going to get promoted, it'll be in 2006 and take command of.
What?
I don't know.
Dude's got a CIB. Tell me anyone that's going to see that dude with a CIB and be like, yeah, you earned that, bro.
Yeah.
That one time you were in the proximity.
That 107 hit on the other side of the air base, and you were at the Green Beans.
Rocking a CIB. Ain't anybody believe in that CIB? I don't know much. Yeah.
But I used to have a commander that said his best way to tell someone is violating 609 was put him in Class Bs, not A's. He goes, a Class B would tell you every time.
Yeah, no, you can't use the jacket to hide it. It pops over the belt, son.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't see that gig line. There's something in front of it.
But let me, that's actually a sore subject with me is how fat this military is getting, and I'm talking about all of them. I know that the Navy just got the award for the fattest branch of the service.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, not too long ago, a few months ago. But I live here on Coronado Island in San Diego, Navy town, and we have North Naval Air Station here. I go through the gate often. I go to the commissary, and when the gyms are open, I'd work out on gym. But I have no idea what the hell is going on in our military today. Because if it's happening here in the Navy, it's happening in the Air Force, the Army, and the Marines. Not so much the Marines, but there is a guy who checks my ID card who weighs 300 pounds, and he's 5'2", and he has a beard. And I don't remember when.
Is he a contractor? Is he?
No, he's an active duty Navy guy.
Oh my Lord!
And it gets crazier than that. I was in the PX, and I'm not. What's called the NEX here.
The NEX, Navy Exchange.
I stopped, and my wife's staring at me, staring at a dude. And I'm staring at this dude because he has on uniform, multicam uniform, pearl earrings, and makeup. And I was just floored because I had not seen that, but I guess now it's allowed.
Was it October 31st or no?
No, this was a regular old day.
That's the famous one.
Yeah.
But, I know that stuff's happening, but I don't know what the hell's going on with height and weight requirements for the military. I don't know if they've just gone out the window because I've seen so many, and I'm going to say it, fat-ass military that not too long ago you didn't see that. The discipline seems to have gone out the window.
And now they're eliminating DA photos from the promotion boards because there's this accusation. I don't think it's based on one bit of merit or truth. That by having a photo lends itself for promotion boards to be racist.
Right.
And I can't, nor have I ever heard in 22 years of being in the military and 22 years as a military dependent, have I ever heard of that happening. Just like I never heard anyone complain about the name of a base, but that's a whole, we talked about that. Go ahead, Toby.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm actually, I think this is great.
Really?
Yeah, no, I absolutely think this is great because your ERB, so your enlisted record brief, because now this is an enlisted issue, right? In terms of promotion, I think this is great. The DA photo, it was a pain in the ass to do.
It was a pain in the ass, yeah.
It's a pain in the ass, and then like there was some bullshit because like you got to take your blue discs off. You got to take your blue cord off.
That's because there's a whole bunch of non-infantry up there on the promotion board that got jealous. But that's
no. But here's the thing.
Yes.
No, like the DA photo, I thought was BS. You should look at your record. You should look at your ERB with the panel, right? The board should look at your ERB. They should look at your record, and look at any mitigating information that goes with that, and Audie Murphy member, or serves in a specialty capacity,
right?
Special Forces, something like
right.
Because you should be promoted on your merit, not on your makeup.
Well,
and there is and has been quotas and affirmative action within the military promotion system for a long time. And that take the photo out, take all that out, and just get back to what we say we are: performance-based promotion.
If it absolutely should be, But the photo was designed to it did go back to does the person automatic, and obviously we know that when you go for the DA photo, almost your entire NCO support channel looked at your uniform and made sure that it was perfect.
Right, your height and weight is on your NCOER.
Right, and you got to.
There's an entire section dedicated to physical fitness, military bearing. I believe it's the second block. It has your height and weight.
I got you there, but to take it out,
you don't need a photo.
But to take it out over suspected racism, that's where I have an issue with.
People got promoted as a result of racism. That's what I'm saying. Like, get rid of it altogether. Get on paper, get judged against your peers, shoot better, run faster, height and weight, meet the character, like the values. We should be promoting people on their values. We should be promoting people on their potential, and we should be promoting people on their performance, not their appearance.
No, I hear you there.
So I'm happy that, because I remember they were like, you need to take your blue cord off. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, but like,
I don't remember doing that when I did mine, but I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't remember. It was a while back.
I had to take my discs and the cord off. I was allowed to keep the CIB. And I was like, I don't want the CIB. I want to wear the EIB because I want everyone to know I'm an expert in that.
Do you feel? Well, first, I feel like there's this big social experiment with the military going on right now, and it started 5 years ago, not 4 years ago, at least, maybe 6, 7. But I kind of think that the DA photo should work. I mean, I've seen some pretty overweight, E7s, E6s, going to become an E7 or E8 or E9 or whatever. And those are people that I wouldn't want to follow. I wouldn't want them to lead me. Yeah. I've seen some of those guys in uniform as Green Berets. And you know where they work? They work in a staff position in the basement of the group. They're not leading men. They're not leading soldiers. And they might be good leaders mentally, but physically, and their appearance is just horseshit. Yeah. So if I were to... if I were a sergeant major and I was looking at, DA photos, I'd want to see the DA photo. I want to know who I'm promoting.
And they have about 10 seconds, 15 seconds to do it. They're fast. I mean, they're not studying it. It's like,
You clean, and also, you're putting that uniform together for a month out, damn near. You're waiting. You have to get an appointment, and then it has to be perfect. They're taping you in different places, all sorts of stuff.
No, it was a ridiculous exercise.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you had to continuously update it. But I'd want to see the picture of the guy that we're possibly promoting to be, an E8, first sergeant major.
Just purely on like the appearance aspect of
yeah.
That's what I think too.
Because I've seen some guys that I would be like, I wouldn't follow them. There's no, I wanted to take the tab off of some of these dudes that I've seen because they were splitting the seams on their uniform. And we have that problem in SOF and special operations, these fat asses who, they just let themselves go on active duty, and they think I'm a big bad ass Green Beret, 10-foot tall, bulletproof. Nobody's going to touch me.
But when they quit working out, that muscle turns to fat, right?
Oh yeah, and then you get. Yeah. I remember hearing some of the excuses. I got a low T, or I got a thyroid issue. No, fat ass. You got
a low PT issue. Is what you got.
Yeah, a low PT, not a low T.
That's what I said. You got a low PT issue.
That happened a lot in special operations. The guys that get away from the team aspect, getting together and working out together all the time. Once they get into senior leadership, a lot of those dudes, if they weren't disciplined, and they're every unit's got them.
Right, right.
Anyway, so yeah, I kind of think that they should keep the DA photo. I don't get the whole racism thing. I want to see who I'm promoting. And that's just my own personal opinion.
All right, what else do you got notes on? What did you write notes on? Let's look at your top topic.
Well, honestly, this was just all about the Green Beret Foundation.
Oh, man, that's a lot, man. I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
No, if you guys are going to ask me anything about the Green Beret Foundation.
Well, we're going to have you back on. We definitely want to cover that. But obviously today was all about Alpha Elite. But I mean,
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, with you being the head of that, we're definitely gonna keep you in the top of the Rolodex there. Dating myself, yeah, it's we want to, especially if you move down to Georgetown, because Tobing have you right in studio.
Oh, dude, come on.
Yeah, and I will have to get my way back down there to MCO. We will have to introduce him to Mesquite Creek Outfitters.
Oh, yeah. I'll introduce him to the brand new Golden Rule that's opening this next week.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if he's going back to drinking or not, though. If he doesn't go back to drinking, that's going to be pretty tempting.
I don't know. I probably will.
I got. No matter what, we got you covered here.
Yeah. I get down to Toby. I used to when I was traveling about once a quarter or so, but I try to get down there to him. So, yeah. All right.
But hey, thanks for coming on. You're living in a beautiful place. Coronado is actually a really cool spot. I love it there. I got a good friend, Matt Height, and Ben. Ives that are out there. A couple of NSW guys, or retired NSW guys. I like to get out there and hang out with them. That's a beautiful part of the country. However, we do it better here, so keep that in mind. But man, I really appreciate you taking the time, and I know we kept you on like an hour and 45 minutes longer than we said we would.
That's all right.
But we really appreciate it. Go Lynx. Sorry about the Thunderbirds, and really appreciate you taking the time and everything that you're giving back. Man, I when looking at, I scrolled back through the ambassador page, and there's another guy on there that's in the gym that I work out. I've never even met this guy. Now I'm going to go out of my way to meet him. Daniel Lyon. I'm gonna go out of my way to meet him now, because I see that dude in the gym all the time. And
he was a sport guy, 10th group. He was an HSC. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go holler at him next time. Well, now they got these stupid rules here, but the next time, we're allowed to be throwing some weight up and slinging it, I'm gonna do it. I take a couple of buddies of mine. One's an amputee, and another one's a pretty jacked up dude, and we have a pretty good morning session there a couple days a week.
Nice.
And a lot of the guys say hi to us, and I just really I'm in the gym, and I'm just thinking about what I got to do after I get out of the gym a lot of the time, and seeing that a couple of those guys are in your ambassador page, I'm gonna be a better human. I'm gonna be a better brother, and I'm gonna say hi to them and talk to them. But man, I really appreciate you taking the time, and thank you and bless you for your support of the Green Beret Foundation. I love hearing that, and we got to get you back on, man. We got to talk to Rob. We got to get to Rob and our poorly paid producer, unpaid producer.
Let's do it. Let's do it after Joe Biden announces who he's going to have as his VP.
There we go.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Yeah. I got money on Tammy.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be too. Yeah, I think he realizes Kamala wasn't liked by anybody, including her own people that voted for her. But yeah. So all right, well, definitely, if Rob is listening, I think he's still in as our producer. Travis is the first in after that announcement happens. If we don't have anyone else booked, and
bump him.
Bump him. But
nice, I feel special.
Oh yeah, for sure. They stay on, Travis. We want to chat just for a couple more minutes. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure and tune in next week. We do have a great guest lined up already next week. I saw that Rob is not disappointing at all. if I can get my calendar to refresh. Matthew Thomas, we have on. He is the Pinal County Police Chief.
Yeah, he's the sheriff.
Yeah, he's the police. We got him on next Thursday here on Stu and the Nun. Make sure you tune in 8 o'clock Eastern here on Stu and the Nun. Tune in. Travis, thank you so much for giving us a lot of your night. And everyone, please pay attention when we play the credits. Pay attention to those foundations that we support, and reach out. Check out Alpha Elite Performance. I've been on the page. Toby's already buying stuff. I'm filling my cart. And check them out because it's veteran owned. You heard Travis talk about it. It's quality stuff, and you're supporting a great organization. So, thank you so much, Travis. Thank you.
My pleasure. Hey, and if anybody hasn't told you guys lately, thank you for your service as well.
Oh, thank you, brother, and you too for sure. Everyone, thank you, and have a good night. Well, that wraps up another episode of the Stu and the Nunn Show, and we hope you had as much fun listening to it as we did hosting it for you. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. You can find all these links at stewandthenunn.com. We will talk to you again next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Commodity Outdoors, Veteran Outdoors, Enlist 9 Fight Company, Warrior Media Solutions, and BooHammer.com. Thank you again, and have a good night.